Hail and Masha's Kingdom, and welcome to POE2 0.4. I promised to show you my crafting guide for sorcerers, so here we go. In this season, staffs are extremely overpowered, and what I will show you right now can be kinda used on staffs, but with different kinds of mechanics. But today I'm crafting my wand, because I will transition into wand playstyle. So to start craft, you want to have good base. And how I got this exact base? Technically, something similar right now on the market will cost around 3 divine orbs. And I'm just picking up every wand I find and dropping perfect orb of transmutation and augmentation on top. They guarantee minimum modifier of level 70. And if you go into POE2 DB website, into modifiers again section, and check wands, you will see that level of all spell skills is modifier of item level 78. So technically, this orbs is basically guarantee to always hit perfect level of all spell skills or other spell skills. But for me, for my build, it's really important to have all spell skills. Another good modifier is gaining damage of different type, for example as lightning. It will increase our chances to shock. And again, as you can see on staffs, tier 1 modifier is basically 2 times higher. But you can have a lot more protection by using wand and focus, for example. So there's a choice, more damage or more protection. However, again, we are crafting wands today, and while level 12 skills is so important, let's just compare to amulets. I got amulet with increased spell damage. 25% increased spell damage will increase damage of my arc by less than 10%. That's because spell part of this damage is pretty low, and it's actually a pretty weak bonus. But level of all spell skills on my amulet, even just 2 level of all spell skills, is more than enough to increase my damage by more than 20%. So that's actually where the power of your mages lies. But if you want a really powerful amulet, you want to look for amulet with +3 to all spell skills, of course. It will be highest roll. They cost more than divine right now, but still everything will be applicable. Still, we will craft amulet, rings and wands today to increase our power and prepare for transition into literal god of sorcerers. When you get nice base of magic weapon, blue weapon basically, first thing that we want to use is essence. And there is 3 essences we would like to use. If you're making some kind of weak weapon, actually there is perfect essence of sorcery that will give +3 level of all spell skills. That's an option, also an option if you're crafting starting stuff, but we're looking for essences that will go into prefix right now, and its increased spell damage we can roll up to 89%, and its item level 60 modifier. Item level 60 modifier is tier 3, so it's not high, and again we know that every 25% will give us like 6% spell damage actually. So it's not what we're looking for in reality. In reality we're looking for other mods, and for my build, critical strike full spells will be really nice. Another option is casting speed. Casting speed is really insane because it can roll up 28% casting speed, and it's also tier 3, but again it's pretty powerful. Still, we're going for critical hit chance. It will be greater essence of seeking. Using this essence will promote our weapon into rare category, and that's how I like to approach my crafts. I basically making this little puzzle was especially useful in previous patch with omen of homogenizing exaltation, but right now it's a lot easier. So we will have 2 suffixes and 1 good prefix. Now I'm checking, is there any perfect essences that I would like to use. Increase mana cost efficiency is quite interesting, I would say, since it's definitely cool to roll something like increase chance to shock, increase casting speed, but there's pretty high chance to roll for reduce attribute requirements and other useless stuff. We either can YOLO this part, or we can guarantee really good modifiers that can be used, because I will spam loads of spells. Therefore, I need to find out, can I use Fracturing Orb to completely lock our top tier 1 modifier? To do it efficiently, I need to decide, is there any desecrated mod that I want? And yes, I want increased elemental damage. It sounds really powerful, since most of my damage comes not from spells, but from elemental infusions. They probably also spells, but again, spell damage does not look very good on wands. We better increase all elemental damage. It sounds like more powerful to me. And to apply this modificator, we can basically guarantee it. It's Amanamu modifier. Therefore, I'm looking for Amanamu Omen, then for Omen to put this desecration modifier into prefix, and preserved Jawbone to get a Manamu modifier with increased elemental damage. And then we will fracture it. The next step will cost a little bit, because we will use Omen of Sinistral Crystallization to remove one of the prefixes. But we take this step only if we succeed on Fracturing Orb, because Fracturing Orb will have 33% chance to succeed. Then we add one more modifier with few Omens and Exalted Orb, and hope we will land on something good, and technically that's it. This Omen, by the way, will go together with Perfect Essence of Alacrity. So let's see where we land. We get a wand, we start by dropping critical hit chance on top, and it will always go in suffix, because every essence will have its place. Now we're trying to have a Manamu modifier in prefix with the help of Sinistral Necromancy Omen and Omen of the Lich, and using Preserved Jawbone to add this desecration. It is in a prefix. And now, since there's 3 mods, Fracturing Orb will have 33% chance to lock lightning damage. If it locks lightning damage, then we continue this craft. So let's go, and success! Yes! Now, if I use Sinistral Crystallization right now, I will remove my Omen modifier, but we definitely don't want it, because it will force me to apply this desecration again. So before attempting this move, we can try field prefixes, and it will be 50-50. Do we remove some good modifier, or maybe we will keep something good? We get technically 2 choices: Greater Exalted Orb or Perfect Exalted Orb. Difference will be in price, of course. Greater costs 6 Exalted Orbs, while Perfect is a little bit less than Divine. The difference is item level modifiers that we will roll. For example, damage as extra fire damage with Greater Exalted Orb can roll up to tier 3 modifier, or as low as tier 3, and Perfect Exalted Orb with modifier of item level 50 will remove only the worst one. Still, even worst is not that bad. Therefore, when you're crafting wands, cost-efficient way to do it will be to use Omen to force prefix modifier and use Greater Exalted Orb in prefix. Of course, if you min-maxing, you want 50-50, tier 2 or tier 1, but we're okay even with tier 3. And we just want something like okay-ish. Let's try. We hit spell damage and bonus to maximum mana. Pretty trash mod. As I told you, it's not guaranteed to hit something cool. But honestly, every mod that we can hit over here would be better than this one. Next part is really cheap, Perfect Essence of Alacrity. In combination with Sinistral Crystallization will remove one of the 2 mods on top. It will either be spell damage and maximum mana, or our desecrated modifier. Let's hope it's mixed spell damage and maximum mana. Boom! Now we removed the desecrated modifier. It's also fine, and technically we can finish our craft. There's 2 ways how we can do it, and we either can roll something really cool and just leave it as it is, or we can try to desecrate it once again for 50-50. I would say let's try to roll something cool with Greater Orb of Exaltation, and we got more maximum mana. Honestly, since it's pretty cheap, we will repeat this step and we will try to desecrate prefix again. Double check prefix desecration weapon, and let's hope we actually hit maybe even spell damage, and we hit spell damage. Yeah, even maximum mana is pretty okay for me, I would say. Overall, this craft costs less than Divine Orb beside base. So if you start with base with +3 level to all spell skills, it will be pretty cheap, and again it will cost less than 1 Divine Orb, and it's pretty good wand. Now let's reveal modifier, and let's get our increased elemental damage. It's basically like guaranteed bonus, but I see another pretty interesting bonus. Gain 17% of damage as extra cold damage. 17% is tier 6 modifier, item level 16. So I just assume this increased elemental damage is just a lot better, but if it was like 30% of damage as extra cold, I would definitely take it. So let's throw the wand, let's add some sockets, only one of course, and we will use a rune to add damage as cold damage. There is no wands like this with critical hit chance. There is one without critical hit chance that costs 3 Divine Orbs. For my build, critical hit chance is essential, so I would say this wand for my build will cost around 7-10 Divine Orbs. And we started insanely cheaply. Again, Wallcraft costs less than Divine Orb, and if you start with base with +3 level to all spell skills, you will have slightly less damage, but it's still okay. Logic will be completely the same. When we're going for Amulet, we want to keep our level to all spell skills, but I don't care about prefix. And my goal right now is to fix defenses. we're definitely lacking chaos resistance. Therefore, we can start with essence that will add chaos resistance, then remove bad modifier by using omen and perfect essence to increase global defenses, which is basically energy shield. So right now we get 5.6k energy shield. And then if we try to hit different modifiers, like Amanamu for example, it's really hard to do in suffix because there's loads of options in here, so it's very random. Instead we will focus on Kurgal modifiers in prefixes. And we finish by slamming exalted orbs. So let's see how it will happen. Maybe I made some mistakes in my calculation. We're dropping chaos resistance on top, getting chaos resistance. Then using this omen with this essence, and it should remove prefix modifier. We get only one prefix modifier right now. It's accuracy rating, and it will be removed and converted into global defenses. Yes, we got it. Low roll by the way. We'll need to drop divine later. Again, we want prefix with Kurgal modifier and preserved collarbone. This bone costs 22 exalted orbs by the way. Biggest cost of this craft. And there's no other ways to end this craft besides dropping exalted orbs. But before doing this, we need to reveal modifier. Here's the thing. Some modifiers can be actually blocked by different modifiers we will roll. So the safer choice sometime is to actually reveal before you drop exalted orbs. In my case, this defenses modifier, which will give me increased energy shield from body armor, probably won't be blocked by anything here in defenses, but maybe, so let's just be safe and reveal before it. Funny part, we can go for survival right now, or for invocated spells have chance to consume half as much energy. Still, technically I'm going for cast on crit probably, and it's not invocated spell, therefore we're going for energy shield from equipped body armor. And now hoping to roll something good. More defenses, maybe more resistances. Let's see where we'll land. Plus 14 to all elemental resistances, perfect. And accuracy rating again. Okay, not perfectly lucky, but funnily enough, this amulet already kinda fixes my resistances. And before we craft these insanely overpowered rings, let's actually buy these gloves for just one exalted orb and throw them in the trash, because as bonus we will craft one really good gloves. So I'm sorting gloves bases right now, only energy shield bases with maximum energy shield local and fire resistance to fix a little bit of my resistance. Loads of them will go for one divine orb over here, but actually if we scroll we can see pretty good one just for one exalted orb. So let's buy it, and now we need to decide what resistances will go where. So technically I need one more lightning resistance and a little bit of chaos resistance. Funnily enough, we can solve lightning and chaos resistance and other resistances with chaos by using desecrations on armor pieces and rings. And I don't think we need extra energy shield on gloves. Instead, let's just add a little bit of rarity and go full meta, because Essence of Opulence will roll tier 1 rarity on gloves. Now I will want to have Ulaman modifier for lightning and chaos resistance, and I want it to go into suffix. So we're using Oven of Sobering, Dextral Necromancy and Preserved Rip to add one more suffix. Oh yeah, we can't guarantee Ulaman modifier, because they can be used only on Javelry or weapon. Therefore we will try to reveal and see what will happen. Is this gloves good or not? And they will have increased critical damage bonus. Not bad, not bad. Still we will use some crazy good gloves later, since for my build I am aiming for legendary, unique gloves. Therefore we will be forced to fix our resistances with rings. For rings there's pretty deterministic way to craft them, especially for mages when you're aiming for maximum mana. We can start with greater essence of mind for nice bonus to maximum mana, increased maximum mana with perfect essence by removing suffix if suffix is bad, but trying to remove suffix right now is almost 2 divine orbs. Instead, as always, just for you I'm going for cheap crafts that will work. So for rings again it can be just any resistance beside lightning, because if we roll lightning resistance it can block lightning and chaos resistance Ulaman modifier, so there will be like no chance to roll lightning and chaos resistance. And my cold resistance is already solved by this ring, so instead I can either roll maximum mana on it or just go YOLO and double a rarity. That's what we're doing. Since now craft will be the same, it will be Ulaman modifier in suffix double checking and filling suffixes. Now I'm filling prefixes just by slamming exalted orbs, and I'm going for greater one for better result. So we got maximum life, evasion rating and chaos damage over here, pretty weak, and maximum life, maximum mana and physical damage to attacks over here. So this one is really good. Life is useful. We're not playing chaos annihilation, so extra 100 life is really nice. But this one is pretty trash. So if you got loads of trash mods, basically 1 good and 2 trash mods, there's an option to use Perfect Essence of the Mind to increase maximum mana by 6%. Because prefixes already filled, this essence got no other place to go beside prefixes. And we got 33% chance to remove maximum life, and it will be bad, but we got 66% chance to remove something that we don't need. Therefore, we're going for it. And we succeed. Pretty good. Technically, can do same stuff over here, but 5% of maximum mana for me right now is less than 175, so we're not going for this roll, and instead we're trying to reveal our rings in this Well of Souls. And if everything is right, we will get lightning and chaos resistance. That's what we want to have, so almost fixed, but will be fixed with second ring, because it will roll basically the same stuff, lightning and chaos resistance. It's guaranteed to Laman modifiers, and that's basically how we solved our resistances. And that's cheap crafts for mages to make you god. Now we have a lot more effective hit points, and we are ready to transition into our next form. It will be completely brutal. Make sure to subscribe to see more cool POE2 content, and see you in the next videos.